Scott Rosania, I'm Senior Director of Patient Support Services at a Fortune 500 biopharmaceutical company. Interestingly, I didn't even know I was looking at a slide deck that was created with the assistance of Prezent, but a leader within the company had already signed up for Prezent and was giving a presentation that I happened to attend, and the content and the flavor and the visuals just looked fresh, and I was curious about it. I was like, oh, what agency did you helped put that together? And no, not an agency. And then a couple weeks later, I had the opportunity to meet folks from Prezent, and I was off and running. I was sold from the delivery of another leader within the organization. So over the course of the relationship with Prezent, I've scaled up to include actually a number of peers, not within my team necessarily, but people who I work with and I rely on to get their narratives across. So I had started with just my leads, and then we kind of expanded. Not everybody on my team gives presentations, so it didn't make sense to just dole out licenses to everybody, but certainly the leaders do, because they're constantly going in front of our commercial business units and presenting strategic plans. And so the leadership team was definitely first on my list, but then again, I started to kind of parse it out to others within the company. There was a senior leader who is out in the field, and he had asked one of the EAs, our executive assistants, hey, is there an organization that I can just give my slides to, or if I can give some content to, or just help with creating some slides? And she knew that I use Prezent a lot, so connected him to me, and we got him off and running yesterday with a license. The more effective my peers' presentations are, then that's selfishly better for me and my team as well. Efficient and seamless, right? Like I said, just yesterday, I sent a note in the morning, and by the afternoon, the license was created, the training was sent out, and my colleague was kind of up and running with it. So that is just kind of a microcosm of what I experienced with the broader Prezent team, which is very attentive, very quick to respond, and the responses are on message and on target. I've had a really good relationship with the Prezent team. The number one thing about Prezent is delivery. It means a lot to me. I'm in the service industry. I think I mentioned, we serviced over 1 million patients last year. Customer service is what we do. We need to make sure that we're delighting people, that what they expect they're gonna get from us, that they get. There's a lot of misdeliveries in this industry. There's a lot of people who say they can do things, and then you sign up for it and you find out that it was a bill of goods. Prezent was the opposite of that. Prezent said they could deliver and then exceeded my expectations. And it was, it's something that, again, I know it sounds basic and it sounds kind of boring to an extent, but delivery is everything in my business, and it matters a lot, and Prezent knocked it out of the park. I'm a little bit different. I like to build it myself. I like to have the vision in my head and then play around in the tool. And I think that's the best part about Prezent is, the myriad slide templates and that are available for me to, and it's such an intuitive system, right? So if I want to build a process flow, or if I want to build an org chart or a timeline or a storyboard, even if I'm looking for one slide, which in our industry, that's kind of the gold standard, right? It's my boss always says, give me one slide on what you're thinking about. Okay, so then I can go into this slide library, I can find the visual that's in my head in the library, I pull it down, I pop in the data, and there it is. Versus me trying to draw perfectly spaced rectangles with the PowerPoint tools and doing it that way. I'm able to take that vision directly from my head, find the slide that matches up to it, and populate it quickly and fire it off. The other piece of it actually is when I don't know what the visual is. I know the narrative, I have the text in my head. I want to say this, and this. And I'm like, I don't know how to say it. I scroll through the slide layer. I know kind of what I want it to look like, and I can type in a keyword and it spits back a number of different templates and options, and I can scroll through and then find the actual visual that, oh, that's exactly what I want. And then that actually can sometimes help me reframe my narrative and actually, oh, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this visual, I could tell this a different way, and I forgot about this component of it, what I should add to it. That's happened a couple of times with me, and I found that template, and it's actually helped me direct my narrative in a different way than I was thinking originally, which you don't get when you kind of farm out the work to somebody else. Yeah, I can easily say that between myself and my team, we spend hours every week on creating content and creating narratives and presentations. Again, whether it's for leadership or not, and using Prezent has absolutely saved us 70% of the time we would spend previously. Agencies aren't cheap. And again, I think agencies have a sweet spot in helping us when we are talking about material that needs to be customer facing. We create a whole number we create websites, we create fax blasts and mailers and letters and things like that. And with those types of things, the agencies are great. With these internal presentations, being able to essentially insource them has probably allowed us to reduce our agency spend by 30%. To put that in dollar terms, we spend several $1 million a year on agencies. Interestingly, when I first started using Prezent, I think before I even rolled out the licenses, I'd created a slide on it, and my team they asked, oh, where'd you get that slide? I want to use that slide. And so I was like, oh, funny that you ask. And then I had the Prezent team create the licenses and give everybody, the training. Our ability to reuse these slides and it has been incredible. As a matter of fact, it helps because when you create a really good visual once, and you can use it again and again. I always say with communication, I think they say 3 times. I would argue that we might be a little bit more dense than that. We might need 7 or 9 times being presented to. But when you are able to reuse that same visual, and you can change the numbers a little bit and you can tweak things, but when the visual can be consistent and you can use it across our programs, and you're able to reiterate that message, and it went well on this brand. So hey, let's see if it works on this brand. It works on this brand, we'll use it across all brands, and that becomes institutionalized, and it helps deliver a clearer message because people are used to seeing things presented in that way. And then when you can continue to deliver on that and iterate maybe even just a little bit, it has helped us get a lot of consistency across the different teams within my department in creating effective narratives.